First things first here, I got a sand driveway. And it makes for quite the dirtiest garage ever. So let's get this blown out. I like to have somewhat of a clean workspace. Clean. Now, next up, let's clean this. And by clean, I mean put things where they don't belong, just as long as they're out of my way. That's what I mean. Coolant, not the forbidden Kool-Aid. Because you know these 6.0s love a little coolant in them. Okay. So here's what I want to do. I want to take these bad boys. They're a little big for the amount that I have, but that's okay. I'm going to put metal prep in one of them. And it does say that you can dilute it. So I'll probably dilute it just a little bit to give me enough to do both axles. But I got plenty of degreaser, so I'm not worried about that. But I just need more bottles. So it can be, from what I just read, it can be diluted around 20-to-1 for more, but I'm going to do probably like a 1-to-1, because that's about all I'll need. Alright, so if you watched the last video, you'll know. But, process for pour 15. We're going to get down, and we're going to scratch metal with some Scotch-Brite. I got red Scotch-Brite, I also have gray Scotch-Brite. One's like an 80 and one's a 120 grit. So I'll start with the red first to get all of the loose, flaky rust off. You can also use wire brush if you need. But after that, then we're going to degrease it. I use Super Clean degreaser. It's one of my favorites. It's cheap and it works well. I've used a lot of degreasers and this seems to work the best for me. So I got Super Clean degreaser, diluted, and then once the degreaser's on there, rinse it with water to get all the grease and whatever else off. And then once it dries a little bit, not a lot, you're going to spray on your metal etching. And you want to leave this on the metal for 10 to 15 minutes. You want to keep it wet for 10 to 15 minutes. So once it starts to dry out, spray it again. And so it's on there and coated for 10 to 15 minutes. And then once that's done, you can just wash it off with water. And then you're going to want to dry the part that you're going to be painting. You want to dry it to the best of your ability. Should not be any water on it at all. That will mess up the coating process and the curing process for pour 15. But my plan here is I'm probably going to start with the front axle and the front radius arms and get those as clean and prepped as possible. And then I'm going to stretch the pour 15 all around it. I don't have an air compressor. I need one. But I'm going to use a leaf blower and I'm going to blow as much water as I can off it to expedite the drying process. Then we're going to apply pour 15. It's going to be kind of hard for you guys to see. I'm going to adjust the tripod so you can kind of see what I see, I guess. But I'll try and walk you through it as best I can. So let's hop over to the truck. So like I said earlier, I did this before on the front bar. The front bar looks pretty good so far. I mean, it's still nice and shiny, but this is a gloss black. And so kind of what my plan of attack here is I'm going to scuff this boy up. But I did this before, and I kind of was laying in the metal etching, and I was laying in the degreaser. So I'm going to do the degreasing and the metal etching out here on both axles, and then I'm going to pull it into the garage so I have a clean space to lay to paint. So that's kind of the plan. So let's get to scuffing, and we'll check it out. One thing about pour 15 that's really important is your product is only going to be as good as your prep. So the longer you spend on prep, theoretically, the nicer it's going to look. And with this axle, I'm not going to do the differential cover. It's going to look ugly for a little bit, but I'm going to order a new front cover and change the fluid in it so it will be nice and brand new and match the pretty axle that we're going to have. So realistically with the scuffing, you're not sanding the metal down to make it perfect. Pour 15 is designed to paint over rust. What you're gonna do is just scuff it all up to get all of the loose rust off of it so that none of your Pour 15 will flake. That's your main goal. But like I said, the better the prep, the better the product. And we're going for very nice. Maybe not perfection, but very nice. You know what I should really invest in is a creeper. That would be so good. I thought I had one at one point. I feel like I did. Maybe somebody stole it. It's a possibility. We're not going to do the knuckles or any of that right now because we're going to pull them at some point to recoat them. I will probably Cerakote them and then replace all the seals and ball joints. So there's no point in coating it now when we're going to do a better coating later on. Okay, so what you didn't see, because I guess my camera has a writing error problem with that last clip. What you didn't see, I grabbed the hose, I degreased the front and the radius arms, and then I let that soak in and I washed them all with water. So you didn't miss much. Change of plans. The rear doesn't look too bad right now, and I am starting to run out of daylight. So I'm going to focus on just the front axle for right now. And I can't find the tow hooks, but if I do find them in the process of this, we'll do those as well. But I'm going to focus on the front axle right now because there's already a piece in the front that's painted and I kind of want it to match. And then when we tackle the back side of the frame, I think that's when I'll do the axles because there's a lot of brake stuff that I'm going to have to take off. And you know how it goes when working with brakes. Pull one thing off, it's going to snap, and I'm not going to be able to drive it tomorrow. But there's nothing really on the front that needs to come off other than like a bracket on the radius arm that holds ABS sensors. So that's the plan. We're going to do the front first. Just do the front, see how it looks, and then we'll restore the back another day or in the next video. Probably the next video. So that's been drip drying a while. Everything's starting to look pretty good. Let's grab our metal etching and let's go spray it on all of our pieces of metal we want to paint. Yeah, I like that. Let's do that. Now, let's hope. I already had one of these break on me. I just bought it. So let's hope this doesn't break. And let's go spray all our components. Ugh. Wouldn't it be nice if I had a lift? I think it'd be nice if I had a lift. I would enjoy that. So you just saw me rolling around on the ground with this nasty stuff. But I think that's going to work out better when I pull it in. It's not all over my garage floor. So that's been on there for about almost 10 minutes now. I've been keeping it wet, been spraying it down. Here in about 3-ish minutes or so, probably 3 to 5, I'll go in and rinse it all with water. Let it drip dry for 10-15. Hit it with the leaf blower, get all the other excess off. Let it finish drying, and then I'll pull it in here, and we'll start to paint it. Let's see how it looks. Here's the plan. Pull the truck in the garage. So here's the plan. We're going to pull the truck into the garage. You can already see the mosquitoes starting. Then, once we get the truck in, we're going to wipe it off. Back it up a little bit. We're going to wipe the axle off. Let me know if I'm going to hit that. I don't think I will. So this is pretty dry already on the places that I want to paint. So that's good. That will make life a lot easier. You probably can't see me. So what I was saying is down here, everything seems to be relatively dry. All the things that I want to paint. There's a couple little wet pieces, but I'll take some shop towels, some air, and I'll get them wiped off, sprayed off, get everything cleaned up. And then we'll go from there, man. It shouldn't be too bad. I think this is going to be pretty easy, pretty quick. One thing I got to say, they drag link on these trucks. Maybe it's just the part I'm getting. I don't know. But I've installed it to factory spec 3 times now. And the ball joint is already blown out. It's already loose, man. I don't understand. Whatever, you know, life goes on. Okay, plan of attack. We're going to paint the axle, not the cover, because I'm going to get a new one. Front and rear, probably. Paint up these tie rod joints, axle, and radius arms. Let's get it. Should be pretty quick and easy. As always. Not really as always, because this is the only second time I'm doing it, but we're going to be using Pour 15. That's going to be badass. It's in the gloss black. I've got a couple brushes to make it go a little faster. So we're going to pop this guy open, give it a stir. Probably just going to put this one in there too, because why not? In tough times, make do with the stir stick that you have. Some would say Bic, a very versatile company. Now this stuff, you really want to wear gloves with when you get down to painting with it, because it's pretty nasty. So, and Pour 15, it says it in its directions to be stirred, not shaken, because it doesn't want to get a bunch of air bubbles in it. Because that will help the curing process while it's in the can, and we don't want to do that. So it is going to be just a little hard for you to see. You could see one part, but my tripod doesn't go that low. So I'll try and give you the best angle possible, but also in reality, you don't need to see me paint something because it's pretty self-explanatory. I'm sure a lot of you have painted something. But I'll give you a snippet, and then I'll get after it. And then I'll show you the finished product. Because it's nice. So what I'm doing now is I'm making sure that there's no water on all the parts that I'm going to paint, because that will mess up the curing process. If you have compressed air, now is a perfect time to use it. I'm going to start like right here, see if we can work our way around it and make it look nice. So I usually saturate my brush and then wipe it so that I don't get any drips. But it does go on very nicely. Very easily too. So the metal etching process, after you clean it, degrease it, the reason for it is Pour 15 likes to adhere to zinc. And so the metal prep reacts with the rust to create through a chemical reaction to create a zinc coating. Not like a gold zinc you'd get from a zinc shop. And that's what the Pour 15 adheres to, is that zinc coating. So that's why I always say, the better you prep, the better it's going to look. the longer you let that metal etch, the better your Pour 15 is going to adhere to it. And you're going to be happier with it. But this color that I have is a gloss black. And you can probably see it here. It's a little dirty, but this is Pour 15. This was my first test piece. And I think it looks pretty good. I like the look of it. It makes everything look kind of newer, which is obviously what I'm going for, restoring this truck. So I challenge you guys, give it a shot, man. This stuff is awesome. And especially if you live in an area with salty air like I do down in Florida. We literally breathe salt every single day. I don't know how that's not bad for you, but we do. But once this cures, which it takes 2 to 6 hours, it says, to be dry and then cured in 24, it becomes rock solid. It's pretty amazing, actually, what companies will come up with, man. And I didn't even abide by my own rule. I forgot to put my gloves on. And now I have Pour 15 on my hands. Whoops. It's a lesson for you. Everything's a lesson. Fun fact, I probably won't make that mistake again. You can do double coats with Pour 15 as well. You just have to wait until it's like finger drag dry, but still like wet, for another coat to adhere to this one. So like this piece, it's already dried. If I went to go put Pour 15 on this, it wouldn't stick. Another cool thing about Pour 15 is it does self-level, which is nice. And then you don't ever have to worry about it looking like crap. Now we're gonna move on to the radius arms. I'll show you when those are all done. Alright, so there's partially finished look. I did end up doing a little bit of the diff cover just because it looked kind of like crap. But once that cures up, shine's gonna go down just a little bit. But it looks night and day from what it did before. And then also can't really see it, but did do the radius arms on both sides. So now those look brand new, which is awesome, and should never have a problem with rust on those pieces again. That's a better look. You can see it now. Way better. Alright everybody, that's where I'm going to wrap up today's video at. Mosquitoes are coming out, so I don't want to get bit more than I am. I already got some itchy there. I hope you enjoyed seeing some of this process. Thank you guys for all your support. I appreciate it. We did hit 500 subscribers, and that is a huge milestone. I appreciate every single one of you that watched this video. So stay tuned for episode 2, and let me know down in the comments below. Let me know down in the comments below what you think of the Pour 15 and how it's turning out on the truck. I think it's turned out pretty well, so I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say. But with that, I'm going to wrap it up here. I will catch you guys in the next episode. See ya.